What trumpet player was like, what did you do, mister? Yes! Yes! Yes!
Jazz in my garage sale. Jazz in my life. I don't know where does jazz exist? Everywhere. Jazz is everywhere. Okay.
So now you're reacting to the solo artist Samuel So and two of his B-side tracks off his 2018 album Unity.
First, so listening to Unity's first track called Jazz in My. This was written with the idea of how one's negative use of language can affect other people in a bad way. So Samuel wanted to get rid of human voice in this track. He was originally going to have it to be 100% instrumentals, but since selling music is a thing where consumers tend to buy tracks with vocals more than instruments alone, he had to add vocals, but also decided to feature a body percussionist to represent communication through sound, not from the mouth.
Wicked.
Go ahead.
Dope. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Oh, hell yeah. There's a parallel fourth. Bartok. Perfect fourth.
I like this arpeggiating vocal line.
You hired a bassist.
Ooh, that's acoustic bass. That's upright bass.
Like, most of the time the guitar riff is higher than the voice, and that creates a really cool effect.
He's definitely speaking very, like, focusing a lot on the consonants and the vowels so that it sounds more like a articulation than it does like a note. And the arpeggiation is not something you usually hear in a vocal melody, it's usually something you hear in accompaniment.
He hired horn players.
Ooh, and the distortion on like the screaming voice too makes it sound...
What trumpet player was like, what did you do, mister?
See, the way he's producing his vowels right now, it's very like conversational.
Yeah, like he's like basic Sprechstimme.
It's like sing
Studied
talking.
atonal theory. What?
It's like sing talking-y.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Sprechstimme.
Yeah.
Is that his mouth? Oh my gosh.
The voice, it's not always in rhythm. Occasionally you hear something that's a little off in a good way. Ooh. Oh, we just ooh at the same time. You would definitely feel like a badass walking to this.
Ooh, I hear the body percussionist.
Oh, you, mister. You
I like
are
the
a good
body.
bass player.
I like the body percussionist a lot, actually, because that like.
I like that triplet line is done in unison. It's gonna do it again.
Yeah,
No,
it
play it
definitely
again right
adds
now.
a more like.
There we go. Yeah. Whoa. God damn. How many times are you gonna play it?
This is the video where Elizabeth doesn't have a chance to talk.
What?
It's in 4, but there's so much. It's in a clear 4, but there's still so much going on
Yeah.
that it's like really interesting to listen to.
Oh, that was cool. That distortion on the voice is like sounded like a guitar, electric guitar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you make lots of noises. Care to put them into words?
Sick.
Yeah, that's pretty dope. I like that.
This is like I'm sitting in a swanky bar and I'm drinking a gin and tonic.
Always
And the
gin
guy
and
that comes to talk to me is drinking the scotch neat. That's that kind of song.
I love that one. I love how it's like such a like simple texture, but there's so much going on.
Yeah.
And everything has their own little ostinatos, like in their own little worlds.
Yeah. I actually kind of didn't like the screaming at first, because I was just like, it made it sound a little juvenile to me. But then, like, after like the third time, I was like, okay, it's kind of cool, because it was pitched. Like, it wasn't just like, ah, like it was like, da 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 da.
It's not like screamo. It's just screaming.
Yes.
This song evokes like different images of like busy city life, and it's raining for some reason. It's like snapshot from above, cars moving really fast, like in time lapse. It's a stratified texture, like, so everything's laid on top of each other, not necessarily correlating.
I feel like it could just keep going on, and like you could listen to this song on repeat a lot. I really, you know what it made me think of? It made me think of like a burlesque club or something with like, first you have the snaps, and then you add like the heavier percussion, and then you get the mouth stuff. I thought it was really layered well, and I thought that was just, I mean, I want to say arousing, but it was just like, wow.
Is this a drone piece? Like, are there any chord changes in it? I don't recall. For me, I thought like, you know, ever since the first strip, da 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 da, it stayed in that B flat minor. I think it's B flat minor. That tonality from beginning to end. I don't recall any chord changes. And if there are, you know, I don't remember. That's how good the song is. You know, you stop thinking about chords.
The thing that struck me most was the way that I know you were saying that like, in order to make the song marketable, it had to have words, it had to have vocals. But I think he was really smart in the way he chose to write the vocal line, because a lot of times it was arpeggiating, or it was very more focused on the actual like syllables he was saying than focusing on timbre or pitch or like resonance of the note. So even within the context of all of this percussion happening, the voice itself is acting almost as a percussion instrument. And then it also acted as sort of like a harmonic instrument in a lot of the points where he was saying like, I've got jazz in my, I couldn't hear the last word, but like that was very like unenunciated, and it was very sustained, and that in that moment functioned more as like a harmonic instrument adding to like the chord. So, you know, even in the moments where the voice was more melodic, it didn't feel like it was a melodic line. It felt like it was part of the like harmonic structure.
This is what everyone should be listening to. This is really good. This is how people should be making pop music, because it requires musicians who have a lot of talent at their craft. It uses organic elements of music alongside a lot of other like really creative, like other like editing things and like distortion things and computer things that were going on, you know, like, you know, keyboard patches in the background or whatever. Like, I'm not a Luddite, you know. Technology is important to use in music as music progresses. Like, that's important. This really gets at the human element of music. And it's one of the reasons why hearing a really good bass player made me go berserk, as opposed to hearing a really cool bass patch. That human essence is captured extremely well in this. And that's the reason why I wasn't listening to it so that I could talk about it. I was listening to it and then freaking out about it and accidentally ran you over a billion times. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
In my opinion, as a reactor, as a musician, as a composer, as a person who enjoys listening to music, this is how you should do pop music.
Okay, so now you'll be listening to a B-side song called Keep It Simple, which is the second track on Unity. In an interview, Samuel said that he often has to think really hard before he does anything, like choosing what to eat for lunch, what to wear that day, what to do that day, etc. But for this song, he didn't really think at all. It just happened. The lyrics are literally about trying to keep life simple.
Hit it.
I like to keep things simple.
Yay, brushes.
Simple. I like to keep things simple.
Ooh. With minor. There's this really subtle major minor back and forth that I really like.
Oh, just sounds so good.
I love it when they delay, like when you're in the pocket of a beat or something. I learned that term today.
In the pocket?
Yeah, in the pocket.
I've heard that 40 times.
He's just so in the pocket. I'm sorry, I get off to like really in sync studio playing. Yeah.
I like the mix of the electric bass with the like jazz brush drums.
He never sings on the intervals I expect. Simple. Lots of ninths, sevenths, 11ths.
This makes me want to keep things simple.
Yeah.
This sounds so good.
It's very relaxing.
Yeah.
I like how they go back and forth between like the double and the halftime.
I mean, the texture is sort of minimalist, you know, basically just bass, drums, piano, voice. So in that regards it's simple, but the way that the voices work together to create the texture is very complex. So I don't know if that's commenting on anything.
I feel like the words are simple, but like the harmonies aren't.
Yeah.
See, every time he does 4 bars where he does sing thirds, the next 4 bars he avoids thirds completely. And I think it's not intentional, it's just subconscious. He just wants to have fun with it, but that just shows how good of a musician he is.
The rhythm of the bass doubles in the chorus sections. It's like very like slow and steady in the verses, but like in the chorus sections, like it doubles in time.
It's like a stylized way of speaking.
It's like speaking through tones.
Yeah, Jazz and Mai. I thought they were definitely more similarities than differences. I thought the piano was more active in Keep It Simple. But, you know, and like I think that in ways Keep It Simple was more complex than Jazz and Mai.
Jazz and Mai grew linearly.
Yeah.
Like, it was simpler because things added, like, every 8 beats or so, or, you know, like, everything added, like, as you went on, so it looked like this when you got to the end. But Simple was, you have everything at the beginning, and it's pretty simple. Like, you have the piano, like, doing its thing, bass doing its thing, vocals, you know, everything just has its purpose. And as you go on, it gets more, like, complex. But it's more of, like, a...
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the care that sometimes might go into a song, maybe care is too nice of a word, maybe like obsessive, kind of like, oh, this has to be right sort of feeling. It was just, none of it was there. It was just like, dude's just jamming out.
But not in like a lazy way. You can tell that he's just like, you know, such a good musician that he just kind of like whips out, like just like writes the song like, yeah, man, like we're just gonna like have this song, cool beans.
But I think it was lazy in a way, but it works.
Yeah, like lazy, but like he's good enough that he can like pull it
Yeah,
off.
no, and it was music somehow.
Yeah.
It was cool. I liked it. Even some of the scatty-ish stuff he was doing at the end, it was just kind of like, woo! Like, woo! It was just kind of like really, really kind of like, whoa.
Yeah.
I kind of enjoyed it. It was really neat.
Yeah, I like it.
Simple. That was nice. The vibe was simple, but the musicianship was not. That's all. Let's keep it simple.
Even the way they record, you can tell it's like very, I don't know, it's like very complex to record such like the purity of the sounds. Like you can hear the nice grazing of like the drum skin, and then you hear like the resonance that comes off as you hit the tom-toms. Just like it resonates for a little bit longer than I don't know, a synthetic soundtrack. It's not completely simple if you look if you dive very deep into, but it's the simplicity in it is just like you have less instruments, less in lyrics, but he does make it so attractive because of just like the pauses, the spaces, and the complements with like a very extravagant piano line, which sometimes just goes out of the box, so it's like in a completely different key and floats back in. It kind of goes in and out of conscious. So it's like some things come forward, something comes back. He's very, very knowledgeable and very aware of like what he wants in this music. So it's like this whole entire music, as I was listening to it, was a magical journey into his whole jazz world. It was very cool.
Hello everyone, I'm Umu React to K channel creator, and I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed or learned something from it. If you'd like to support us or help React to K grow, you can do so by visiting our Patreon and help us out by pledging any amount you can. Till next time.